Number 5. Scaphism. Imagine being trapped, unable to move, under the burning sun. This punishment comes from ancient Persia, and many historians consider it one of the worst ways to die ever recorded. The victim was placed between two wooden boats, or hollowed-out logs, tightly locked so they couldn't escape. Only their head, arms, and legs were left exposed. Then came the horrifying part. They were force-fed milk and honey, over and over again, until their body couldn't take it anymore. The mixture would also be poured over their skin, attracting flies, insects, and parasites. Within hours, the body would begin to rot, while still alive. The insects would lay eggs, and slowly, piece by piece, the victim would be eaten. Death didn't come quickly. It could take days, sometimes even weeks. Imagine being conscious, the entire time. Number 4. The brazen bull. In ancient Greece, punishment was sometimes turned into spectacle. This device looked like a massive bronze bull, beautifully crafted, almost like a piece of art. But inside, it was completely hollow. The victim was locked inside the bull, with no way out. Then, a fire was lit underneath. Slowly, the metal began to heat up. The air inside became unbearable, turning the bull into a giant oven. But what made it even more disturbing, was the sound. The bull was designed with pipes and tubes, so when the victim screamed, the sound came out of the bull's mouth, transformed into something that sounded like a real bull roaring. To the people outside, it wasn't a human dying. It was entertainment. Number 3. Drawing and quartering. This was one of the most brutal punishments used in medieval Europe, especially for those accused of treason. But execution wasn't the only goal. It was about fear. First, the victim would be dragged through the streets, often behind a horse, while people watched. Then, they were tied down. Ropes were attached to each limb, and connected to horses. On command, the horses would pull in opposite directions. The human body simply couldn't withstand the force. What followed was something meant to be remembered. The remains were often displayed publicly, as a warning to anyone who dared to betray the crown. It wasn't just punishment, it was a message. Number 2. Ling Chi. Known as death by 1,000 cuts, this method was used in ancient China for severe crimes. Unlike most executions, this one was designed to be slow. Very slow. The victim was tied up, unable to move. Then, over time, small cuts were made to the body. Not enough to kill instantly, but enough to cause extreme pain. Each cut, carefully controlled. Each moment, stretched out. The goal wasn't just death. It was prolonged suffering. Sometimes, substances were used to keep the victim conscious longer. Turning minutes into hours. A punishment designed not just to end life, but to completely break it. Number 1. Impalement. Perhaps the most infamous method on this list, associated with Vlad the Impaler. A ruler feared across entire regions. His method of punishment was designed to create pure terror. Victims were placed on sharpened wooden stakes, positioned vertically. The body would slowly slide down, as gravity did the rest. The process could take hours, sometimes even days. Entire fields were filled with victims on stakes, creating a horrifying landscape. It wasn't just about execution. It was psychological warfare. A warning that no one could ignore.
These punishments weren't just about death. They were about fear, control, and power. Which one shocked you
the most? And would you survive even one of them? Subscribe for more dark history you won't believe is real.